Hello, friends. I felt drawn to really recognize this moon energy. And as I sat down and started to pull in the energies, the moon showed me to look at the black moon astrology and that Leo was at 0 degrees of the 5th house. And so when I looked here, this is Leo's ruling house. And so there's some sort of love that's entering our lives right now. This could be love with a friend, love with family, love with a lover, love of something that you're just very passionate about. But it's coming in very generous, very open, very playful, and it's bringing in a connection of ideas. You may be thinking about changing your career. You may be thinking about wandering, traveling, changing everything. And I'm being guided to tell you to trust what you're being called to, but really feel into the emotions to understand what it is that you are feeling, because there's a lot of creativity that's showing up for you, and there's this creative birth that I see, and the moon's reflecting to you the responsibility that you have for the caregiving of this moon and the caregiving of your body. They're also showing me here, they're calling it Saturn v Saturn, and they're showing me the 28th, and they're telling me that the offspring, this creativity, will be born then, and it comes from this, they're calling it almost like a sacrifice of change, and they want you to know that the change will bring you something so great, because it's almost like this idea of the son standing up to the father, the daughter standing up to the mother, the wounds that are being healed, that this has been this war of ancestral nature, and it's time to be completed with that, and it's time for us to follow what we feel. So this is a channeled message, and for those that you do not know me, I'm an intuitive, and as an energy channel, it's as if I get a little USB that I plug into my brain temporarily with all the information that you need on it. Everything that comes in the moment. Sometimes it comes in within my environment to show me what I'm seeing. And as I was getting these downloads for you, Oliver was becoming, who is my dog, for those of you that do not know, has become very active and is seeking comfort, is seeking nesting, is seeking a space to feel secure. You may even hear him trying to create this space. And it reminds me of the nesting process of birth and how essential it is that you allow yourself some comfort, which we often forget is part of the process of the changing of seasons, of the changing of life, to remind us to slow down for a minute and find that comfort. To find that headspace that tells us that we are safe to progress and that what we are being shown is for our highest good and not in opposition of such. So you may not resonate with everything that comes through, and that's okay. You may not resonate with any of it, but I just felt that you needed to know this. I've already started putting out the monthly programs that will go through the 13 new moons, but it's almost like they're enclosed by this full moon to the full moon. And so it was important to acknowledge this for the collective. So if you want to get comfortable and remember that what we're releasing is big. It's opening up space for this solar eclipse, this pink moon to come in and connect in the upper heart chakra of our deep Emperor's energy that we all have within us. And our body's starting to make space for that, which is going to show up differently for each of us. It may show up as a expansion. It may show up as what feels like an elongation. It may show up as a flattening. So allow yourself to understand that all is well. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. Feel into what your heart is saying to you. I feel this energy of Mercury speaking to your heart right now about what's about to open up and be healed from what you are working with here. And as time is fluid, whenever you come to this, that's the right time for you. It doesn't matter what I'm speaking about in terms of what may appear to be 3D reality. They're showing me again the 8, which is very reminiscent of that Leo energy that came in at the very beginning. And being that this is almost like a dual portal that opens up and folds back in on itself. They're showing me the trumpet that's sounding what might be fearful for some because there's a misunderstanding. They're reminding me the story, having grown up in Utah, when the Hotel Utah was right across from the Salt Lake City temple that is very historic. If you think of Salt Lake City, you probably think of this temple. And on the top of this temple is an angel that holds a trumpet, and it is said that when the second coming comes, that the trumpet will be sounded. And this musician that was in town opened up their window and sat there in the window of their hotel room high above the city and pulled out their trumpet and started playing. And you can imagine the thoughts that must have crossed through people's heads. Because this is a birth, there's also something that is being left behind. For a mother, it's often bittersweet to no longer have that feeling of connectedness of within with their child. It also changes the dynamic because now it's in front of me instead of inside of me, and there's more work that has to be done. For the father, sometimes there is this relief that, thank you, I finally get to see this little being that's been inside for so long. And this being is what's been created from the 2 encoded energies being folded together into a new energy of life. And that's what we are approaching here. That's what we are moving through here. They're showing me the left eye, the feminine sight. There is this one eye open from the heart and one eye closed from the mind, which will probably reverse as we move forward. So just be in allowance of all of that. To know that it's going to flip. The switch is going to flip. Some of it may feel like it comes in little blocks where you don't understand until you get to the other side of it, because it feels almost like putting together Legos, and you don't know what actually it's going to look like until you're done. I see the raven's wing. So the inside is a little dark, until you get there. But the insight is very deeply spiritual. I want you to move into that raven's energy if you can. Feel the deep connection between the two of you. It's as if the raven feels like they are sitting on you as an embodied statue, because you haven't truly come into your full potential yet. And yet you are still a masterpiece. You are still a work of art. The equation here is infinite. So there's no ceiling. There's no baseline. It is being created for you exactly as it is meant to be. There's nothing you can do wrong to move out of the way of this, even, because as you have accepted this lifetime, you knew that there was a part of you that was going to be folded into another part and needed into this frequency of something new. That is going to be different for every one of you, but it is happening to every one of you. Traditionally, they're telling me that this only happens every 24 cycles of family origin. So they're showing me that the last time this happened was a very different time. They're showing me the sheep grazing, and they're showing me that there was not the industrial age that we perceive as our life now. And in the last time that this happened, they're showing me this interesting aspect. I'm seeing fish eyes, almost like fish falling out of the sky, and I know that this happens from time to time. And it reminds me again of that 24. And they're taking me back to this energy of the Sumerian god. They're showing me this energy that is what they're calling the extrasolar object that I wrote about in the codes, that started with the draconian codes. I wrote about it there. And they kept taking me to that area again and again. And so I know that there is maybe something's going to fall from the sky, but they're also showing me this energy of just the one eye knowing what the third eye can see. And I feel this eye is actually that eye of the portal. And if you look inside of it, it comes out like this bulging eye. And it's getting larger and larger until it hits the point where it kind of folds outwards. And they're reminding me of those old toys that you would flip them one direction and then they would pop and flip the other. They were kind of like half circles. So it's only going to get weirder, guys, before we get through these cycles. But I know that what they're showing me is that it's a process of cleansing the energy field, so that those of us that have been starting to get these golden transmissions have released the old stagnancies before we move forward. Because I'm feeling those golden energies right now. And I want you to see if you can feel them too as they are coming in. If you'd like to receive them, I'm using the Hararaku Divine Reiki energy. And I'm opening up those golden transmissions to you. And they may come in a little bit of a wave, or it may make you feel a little bit like you're floating. So please don't drive while you're listening to this. Pause it if you need to come back. And imagine that you're sitting with your ancestors. And ask them, what was their struggle? What was the struggle that burdened their shoulders, that they held on so tightly to that it was woven into your DNA? I want you to imagine that to the one side of you and your ancestor is this very special portal that is willing to take this burden. And I want you to first thank your ancestors for all they've done. I want you to return this to them with love and generosity, letting them know that this is not for you, that this was theirs, but they don't have to hold on to it. Explain to them that they can put it into the portal, and when it goes through the unfolding and it comes back to you, it will be a new energy, a beautiful energy, a beautiful creation encoded with the golden codes, no longer holding on to that stagnancy as it's been allowed to rise up. And let them put that into the portal. Thank them. Give them a hug. Tell them how much this meant to you. Allow yourself to feel that release, knowing that when this does come back to you, it will be very different. I feel the lightness already. And it feels so genuinely warm. And I can feel how clean that auric field around you is right now. Now that you've released that. I want you to look in front of you in your mind's eye, and you'll see there's a little pouch, a little medicine bag. And I want you to imagine taking a little bit of the dirt and dropping it into the medicine bag with one hand, and there's a seed waiting for you to pick up and put it in there with the dirt. And I want you to close it, and then I want you to pick it up, and you have a choice. You can either take it with you and know that something will show up to let you know when it's time to plant that seed, or put it into the portal and let it return to you when it is time. There is no right or wrong, it's just what is right for you. And I want you to feel that open heart and feel right now that your crown chakra is open, your third eye, your throat chakra, the Alta Major, your upper heart chakra, your heart chakra, your solar plexus, your sacral, your root chakra, and the chakra of the underground. And as we connect all the way down into that, you can feel the circular energies flowing all the way around. Pulling you towards that release into the new moon. We're going to say goodbye to the portal for now. Goodbye to your ancestors. They'll be near, but we're going to return to our own sacred space, and I'm going to close off that Reiki energy. However, the universe is always available to you. I want you to move your body a little bit and breathe as you bring life back into your being. I'm going to pull a moon card for us. And what came out was to talk to the moon, to communicate with the moon. I want you to spend some time between now and the new moon writing a letter to the new moon, because this is, in a way, writing a letter to your own heart, they're telling me, because the moon knows your heart better than you do. The Moonology message oracle that goes with the communication card says, your outlook is positive, but you need to communicate with your higher self, with the moon, or with someone. Start with the idea of communicating with your higher self. This is the part of you connected to all life everywhere. Learning to connect with the part of your self is easy to do. Simply sit quietly and ask your higher self what you need to know about your situation. Request answers. Close your eyes, breathe gently, and see what messages come to you. Have a pen and piece of paper handy so you can make notes and then return to your breathing. You can also do this exercise under the moon. Go out into the night and sit quietly asking for answers about your situation. That's the esoteric part of this card. However, it can also suggest that, as well as divining answers in this magical way, you may need to talk to someone in real life, either to the person involved in your situation or someone else that can help you. The moon is the most perfect conduit for powerful emotional-based communication. She's all about feelings. Tap into the feeling you're getting now, and the answers will come. Let's see, before I close this, what else you need to know. Surrender. The 12, divine. We go from the 6 of the communication to the 12. Surrender. It's both double and half. It's the folding. The energy of surrender supports us to let go of illusionary control and yield to the flow of love in life. This is where the golden energies are showing up. It is that Leo energy, that strength. It is the bound connection that you have to yourself and to others. It is how you have committed to this rebirth over the Piscean season, as well as to the completion. Again, Pisces is the 12th house, to the completion of this enfolding. And there is the aspect of Mercury here. Again, the communication to the moon is so important, and not just at the full moon. Make sure that you are doing this at the quarter moon and speaking from your heart when you are feeling the energies that are split in half. Advice moving forward. Seven of Wands. You stand at the forefront of action and choice, judgment. Choose what feels healthy for you. Again, there is the mirroring of the ancestors, and you've told them, and you've spoken your truth, and now you must turn and speak to the moon as well. Knight of Cups and the Four of Pentacles in reverse. As you walk away from this moon, again, know that things have been put into motion that will unfold and come back to you. The Emperor and the Ace of Wands is on the bottom. There's that energy that the divine masculine frequency is committed to this action. But we've got Ceres, my Queen of Hearts, and the Pallas Athena, the thoughts, are part of what is being needed together as two become one. And I think that's a very powerful message. So I hope that this helps you. I just saw angel number 3737, complete, complete. This is exactly as it was meant to be. And I love you all. I wish you well. And I hope to see you in the 13 cycles to Aquarius. Aho.